is what inspired you to start or join Nectary? And yeah, that's the first question.
Okay. I think for me, inspiration wasn't a strong word when I started Nectary.
Mm-hmm.
I was in sabbatical.
Mm.
So at that time, I wasn't looking for anything to work. I was resting, I was exploring. And the opportunity came by way of my current partner who um, kadang-kadang kita tuh udah ngomongin, I think we are able to open up a consultancy based on our experience and also how we gauge our competency against other ini ya consultants in the area. But both of us itu nggak ada background bisnis
Mm.
betulnya. Jadi we were always working class gitu. So opening up a business was something a bit scary, unknown, dan nggak familiar.
Mm.
But the opportunity came up um, at that time with a project who wanted to engage with us. So it started from there.
I see.
So I think it wasn't something too inspiring, but it was quite slow and quite apa ya starting point yang lebih nyaman buat kami.
Mm. That was really. Mm-hmm.
Dan more than the business itself, I think it was the type of work that we were able to do yang inspire us
I see.
gitu. Instead of being told what to do, we are able to pick and choose what we wanted to do.
I see. So basically, the type of works is what inspired you. So it means that I think you feel that your works give a meaningful impact for like the society, the planet, etc. And it's basically impactful for you, right, Mbak Vidya? Okay. So I would like to ask more on that. So how does basically Nectary drive a meaningful change in sustainability for its client, basically, or probably not just for the client, but for, like I said previously, for the society, for the planets, and while also maintaining a profit for your company as well.
So we already know that sustainability and for good or for worse becomes a commodity right
Mm-hmm.
now. That it becomes something companies, businesses see as more and more central to their
Mm-hmm.
core of business, and it becomes a little bit more um, common, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as something as a service.
Yeah.
Jadi, in terms of profit, that's where it lies. In terms of impacts,
Mm-hmm.
there are various ways gitu. With the big companies, they are usually for us they are looking into their supply chains.
Mm-hmm.
So that means working together with their smaller, medium-sized suppliers, working together with farmers to be able to ensure responsible supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes dual benefit, yes, for the big companies for them to ensure that they are upholding their own sustainability commitment, but also for us, more rewarding is working with these smaller companies, working with directly the farmers to be able to impact change in them. And then we also have a little bit more diverse portfolio. We also work with smaller, medium-sized companies
Mm-hmm.
who are looking to start doing something in sustainability, starting from zero or
Yeah.
a little bit above zero, and figuring out what actually sustainability means for their business, what their investors are looking for. We also work with companies for a company, for example, in the eastern part of Indonesia
Mm-hmm.
who wants to be sustainable, taking commodities coming from Papua, coming from Maluku, to lift up farmers and cooperatives there as well, to be able to sell those products to bigger markets and even to export. So the impacts that we do sometimes is more on a strategic or more on a management, and sometimes also on the ground while working with farmers. But I think that's how we derive our energy from.
It's really interesting because you previously mentioned that you also work with like a medium or even smaller scale company, because I thought that Probably when the company is still small or medium, they probably think more of about profit, and sustainability is basically last on their mind. What do you think about that, Vidya?
So different drivers for the startup types of companies, they are usually already having investors asking. So if they have three or four investors, each of them would have a different kind of
Mm.
sustainability angle,
Yeah.
at least a basic due diligence and
Yeah.
sustainability. They started to ask, okay, what is your stance? What is your policy? How are you governing? And most of the time, they don't have time to kind of
Mm.
sit down and think more about that.
Yeah.
So that's where they need help to integrate what all of these sustainability means into their core business.
Mm.
And for our experience, that is the
Mm.
main driver.
Yeah.
And then there are also the smaller medium companies who already have impact in the center of their business. Like I
Yeah.
mentioned, the company working in Maluku and Papua, they wanted to lift up farmers
I
and
see.
smaller cooperatives there.
Yeah.
So it is already embedded in the way that they
Mm.
are working. So that is more of an inherent internal
Yeah.
motivation that
Okay.
is aligning to the actual business vision.
So to paraphrase that, basically, the driver for this small and medium scale company to basically approach sustainability in a more rigorous way is either one because of their financing type, and the second one because it's inherently embedded towards their basically business model. This
Yes.
is really interesting because, yeah, as a finance professional, it means that actually financing type could also drive sustainability. That's really interesting.
Yes.
I would like to move up to the next question. So, like recently, even like in the VC scene, like like you mentioned previously, a lot of startup, right? And most of the startup is also being backed by VC, and VC is usually just following the trend. Like recently, because of the increase of price in Bitcoin, like previously, like several months ago, they probably interested in three area, which is AI, blockchains, and also sustainability, right? But right now, when the Bitcoin price is driving really up, they basically just ignore sustainability and AI, and they move out to the blockchain scene right now. My question is basically, do you think that sustainability is a fad, or this trend that people will care more about sustainability will continue on? So basically, what do you think about the futures of sustainability? Basically, team. I'm not gonna say industry because I don't think sustainability is industry. Like all of the industry should follow sustainable method. But yeah, how do you think about that, Mbak?
The future, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think, um, fortunately, I think I'm seeing the trend going upwards.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, some of that is because we are forced. We are in a
Mm.
circumstance where we're increasingly reaching a point of no choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, I think it's sooner or later,
Mm-hmm.
right? People are asking, or society is asking for even faster growth in
Mm-hmm.
terms of sustainability measures.
Yeah.
I think what is holding us back is political and willpower.
Mm-hmm.
So in a in a in an instance where the political and willpower is there, we will see a lot of increase in policies, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of increase in restrictions. So for businesses, that would be the first kind of risk to note,
Yeah.
that they needed to comply with that. And on a higher level, aside from a risk avoidance, especially in agriculture, for example, the risk of climate change is very real.
Yeah.
The loss of harvest, the amount of time and the amount of kind of prediction that couldn't be done in terms of the change of seasons and all of that. That is real direct business impact
Yeah.
to a lot of agriculture companies. And then for energy sector, transportation sector, all
Yeah.
of those high emitting industries that will sooner or later have no choice but to shift.
Yeah, yeah. And mhm,
So I think the trend is
mhm,
there. We just need to see how fast the push is,
yeah.
especially from governments.
I would like to add up on that. Like right now, like I previously mentioned about artificial intelligence as well, right? And as we all know right now, artificial intelligence, even though it's really improved the way we live, like even me when I am studying right now, like it really helped me in getting more insight and also more data fast like that. But it is not a secret that AI also consume a large amount of energy. Like several
Mm.
companies such as Meta also have a
Mm.
proposal to create a nuclear reactor basically just to power up the AI. So what do you think about this trend of AI, which I think right now personally will not stop? It will increase more in the future. Uh, will create an effect or impact the sustainability scenario or team. Yeah, Mafidia.
I think regardless whether it's AI or any type of technology, right? I think the problem that we have right now is actually the lack of self-control.
Mm,
And with any type of technology advancements,
mm-hmm,
the trend and the pace is too fast.
mm-hmm,
In the last 10 years since the internet time and all of that,
yeah.
that is not yang tidak diikuti dengan pace of advancement in morality.
Mm, okay.
Um, so that's why the age of consumerism, the
Mm-hmm,
age of capitalism, dan juga the belief that technology solves everything
mm-hmm,
and that human is above nature,
yeah.
right? That nature should succumb to technology. I
Mm-hmm,
think that thinking, that philosophy is the one that is dangerous.
yeah. That is
Nah.
really, really, really insightful. I have the last question. This question probably quite personal. It's not related to business. It's probably just an advice for young people, especially let's say people who just graduated and they want to pursue a career in sustainability, or they even want to create a business in sustainability, or even create a similar business like you. If you were to give them advice, what would it be basically, Mbak Vidya?
I would advise them to explore
Mm-hmm.
and seek a mentor. So I
Mm-hmm.
think in the first, 5 to 8 years, explore as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the trend that people, as soon as they graduated, they wanted to do something, make a business, and blah blah blah, which is not wrong, right? But I think the I'm a little bit more traditional,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe for you to have the business, you needed to have certain technical skills as well
Yeah.
to back it up,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of young people have brilliant ideas, but lack in the execution power
Mm-hmm.
and lack in the technical skills to actually realize it. So seek mentors, understand how other companies work,
Yeah.
explore, no pressure. I think a lot of people said, okay, you need to find your passion, you need to be passionate about something.
Yeah.
I think part of exploration is allowing yourself to try different passions and be patient when you don't feel strongly about something, right?
Yeah.
It's your time
Yeah.
to explore. So I think relieving a little bit that pressure to have a passion, to have a business, and use that time to still extend your learning period in a different form than school.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
Thank you very much, Mbak Vidya. I have two last short question. So I would like to ask whether you previously, because you mentioned mentor previously, do you have a mentor before like creating your business, like right now, or just general mentors that you really adore in your life?
Um, I have informal one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have formal ones that I
Yeah.
call as my mentor. I have
Okay.
several people that I look up to that
Okay.
I could, if I want to, have a conversation with them.
Okay. So last question. A short things. What is the most memorable advice that you get from your mentor that you always put in your head whenever things get tough, probably?
It's not an advice, but I had a situation before that was tough for me in my previous job, and in the office, in the cafe
Mm-hmm.
of the basement of the office, I sat down with her and I started crying, and she held my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't an advice. There
Mm-hmm.
was no word, but it was a gesture that I will remember forever, and I would
Mm-hmm.
love to extend that to other people if circumstances come.